We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Roberto Morales, the director, is absent. The rest of the board is here.
We are.
Proof of notice. Do you have that?
Yeah, notice was mailed to all the owners. And I got that request, where do you guys post, where are you actually posting the notices moving forward, make sure they're being...
At the mailboxes. There's a bulletin board at each mailbox. Up until now, I've been doing that.
Three total.
2 days before. What's that? Yeah.
3 total.
There's 3 sets of mailboxes, each has a bulletin board ready posted.
And,
we need the sign-in sheet.
I missed that. What do we need?
that's an issue.
Maybe some pens for
I have
next on the agenda is approval of minutes. We didn't do minutes.
We didn't see
Okay,
minutes.
I have notes, so I can do the minutes for us, and I'll get them for the annual meeting, which is on the 19th. I'm writing that. And
Okay,
then
I wasn't
typically, do you guys do the minutes, or you have your managers? do the minutes?
Usually we've had the manager. go
Okay, all
around.
right, so then I'll take the minutes, and then I'll have both of them then ready for the annual meeting.
So we'll hold off on the approval of minutes for the next meeting. Financial report.
At the moment, I can't report anything, because until, what I wanted to report was pretty much as I stated earlier. What we're going to request from them is copies of all the images of all the deposited checks, copies of images of all the checks that went out, and then from there we're going to reconstruct the books for those 2 months that they weren't provided to you, which are the 2 months that you're missing. Anything after, we don't have anything after August.
Did we receive that statement from last month?
What I have is
Yeah, I would say I thought because November rep.
correct. The bank statement, whatever bank statement, correct. That I have, yeah, October that I will use, and I will able to reply.
Do you recall what was it?
No, but I can email that. I can email that to you guys.
$189,000 in BB&T. We had last night, we had 151, which was all those big checks there, like from the statement, we had 191. And we had $8,000 in Chase. Now we have $3,100 in Chase, and we have about $151,000 for BB&T.
154.
So what I'll do is, for the next meeting, obviously we won't have it, because it is going to be a process to be able to reconstruct this. So at the next meeting, what I'll have for you is a deadline of when we expect to have it all done, because I know you guys have to report regularly and so forth. So we could say, okay, beginning this date, I can still give you obviously owner balances, and I can give you bank statements, but I won't be able to give you a full set of financials until we reconstruct those 2 months. But so by the next meeting, I'll be able to give you a date. Okay, we're looking to have it finished by this date. What we've been doing with regards to owners that are closing and estoppels, we've just been using August, that last report that they gave us. I think we have one as of October 18th, and then we've been using that figure for the estoppels and so forth. And we told them if they feel there's any difference, then for now they'll have to pay that, or show us a copy of a canceled check after that. But at the moment, we haven't had that issue as of now.
Well, what do you expect it's going to cost us to do the transition, both in bank fees and your fees?
Bank fees, I'll have a number for you guys probably by email on Wednesday. Typically, what we're looking at, I was talking to Pedro, which takes care of the finances and stuff. It's probably going to be about $2,800 for us to reconstruct both months. With regards to the bank fees, we won't know until they tell us what it is. Hopefully, it's not astronomical, but it's something that unfortunately you're going to have to do. And I would say, okay, let's go after
about 200 homes, because that's who's paying. About maybe 220 homes are paying. Times 2 is 440 times $3 an image.
Well, I'm hoping they're not going to charge us per image. I'm hoping they could put maybe 10 checks on one piece of paper. That would be
nice. But you know how the banks are,
Yeah,
they can
I
get
know.
1 extra cent,
Yeah.
they're gonna charge that extra cent.
So we're looking at close to $4,000.
I don't think so.
Okay, because that, we need to put that in our budget.
You just need to advance them. That, gives us a privilege fee to removing the money.
Okay, okay. I'll make mention of that.
And then we can do it. We can pay this, but we can move it. I don't think with that kind of balance, they're supposed to be able to give us, do some exception. Reduce the amount.
Okay, that's all we have on financials right now.
We're going to the budget?
We're on to the budget. This is what was sent out as a baseline. I know we already had some discussions about some things that we need to adjust. Jump right in.
I guess one comment, I didn't know when Arissa sent the email, I was like, where do you keep seeing the 22,000? It's actually an error in the calculation in the Excel sheet. I found it the other day. It's in the income total. It's just that 44,000 should just transfer down. I'll get that fixed whenever we mail the approved budget to the.
I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah, it was just Excel. Ernesto sent it to me via email and I didn't see it. I look at the bottom, I look at the top, and
Good.
I missed that part. So we'll get that corrected when we.
You had
It's that new math.
you had late fee income. I think it was $1,500 or something like that. And in the first one you said. So, and you did at 22 also. But when you sent back this one, someone took up $1,500 and left the rest. So you might want to go and look at that again because you had $1,500 in late fee income.
Okay. I know when I was looking at the sheet, okay, one example, in comparison to last year, what the owner should be being assessed is for the fees to be $115 even is actually $531.30. On your previous year, your budget looked like you were making a small profit, which you're a non-profit, so you shouldn't be making a profit. So the owners actually need to be assessed $531,300. I can put that late fee income.
My
All we're
budget
gonna do
had
is,
it increased to 117,000.
It was based on a system.
if correct, yeah, the 115, that's what the owners get assessed. So for instance, if I include that 1,500.
Well, you don't include it. I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure that it stayed the same, because if you actually divide the 527,940,
Comes out to 115.
no, 115.
531,300.
Yeah, correct, but if you looked at last year's, if you divide the 527,940, that doesn't give you 115. I guess they just rounded up, I'm not
Right.
sure, but in order to do it correctly, it should be the 531,300 divided by 385, that gives you the exact 115.
Okay, well, then we need to talk about these things, because there's a whole bunch of things in this budget we don't have.
Yeah, and I guess you guys could.
Well, before we even go there, is it reasonable for us to budget for everybody paying every month when we're not collecting close to that?
Well, that's what you have here, your bad debt expense. If you look, Paul, on the general and administrative, the
Yeah.
last line item, bad debt expense,
That's what's not being.
that's what you're calculating for the owners who are not going to pay. Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a lot more owners that are not paying than that. Actual.
So you what?
What happens to them when they don't pay, guys? What do we do?
Well, we foreclosed on 19 houses, but doesn't do us any good. We've rented one, we're renting another one?
Yeah.
We're renting two now, that's a kind of up in the air iffy thing too, because
understand.
the bank can come in at any time, kick the people out, and any money we put in to improve the house to let the people rent it, we lost.
I sent Israel to you. Israel?
Yeah. He is up on the other street.
Yes. I told him to talk to you because I knew about the one on the lake, so we can benefit something, no?
To answer Paul's
But the
question,
one in the lake is
Go
really.
ahead.
to
Yes.
answer Paul's question, right now you're assuming 55 units, so that's about a 14% delinquency.
What's that coming to in dollars?
In dollars, it's $75,000 a year is what you're estimating, 6,250.
Can I just say something about the budget? Just two quick things. We have nothing in for our sprinkler maintenance.
If we, let's leave that when we get there. Let's start from top.
I don't like the top, I like the bottom.
All right, management fees, we got $2,900 a month.
Uh-huh.
Is that correct?
Well, remember, I'm going off what you guys discussed prior. What's correct is the 26, our agreement, I think it's 26,990, I think is what the exact figure.
Well, then you gotta put that in. Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah, you guys tell me, I mean, again, I'm just.
Yeah, whatever.
This-
let me-
You know what we're paying you, so just put that in.
Oh, well,
I rounded, I thought we were paying you 28 something. Whatever we're paying, you put that in there.
26.
about $2,750 in the budget for those little incidents.
Correct,
that'll
yeah, keep
come up.
in mind, yeah.
You need to put down, put in office supplies in those
That's an
little.
office supplies.
Yeah, you need to put your, whatever we pay you, and then go to office supplies and add in what you think that's gonna be.
So what we're pricing here, how much?
That's
$2,750?
only an extra $50. I said $2,750. Just a little cushion for those little things that come up.
We pay $300 a month in office supplies, you know that. Where's office supplies in
It's
here?
at $250 a month.
Huh?
It's at $250 a month. It's-
Okay, so then he's good, $2,750, do that.
There you go.
27.
He did it right.
Accounting fees, CPA audit, tax filing.
Okay, that's what we have to do. We got a $6,000 audit that we have to pay for now in January. It's not allowing for the $300 that we have to pay to him to do our taxes, actually. We have to pay $300 to actually do our taxes and $6,000 for the audit.
What more it might include to correct any other issue with
Yeah, we should put that in there too.
any issue with IRS. I called you and mentioned to you about the issue that we have with the maintenance person. So, because up until today, you don't have to. So,
Yeah, but he filed his taxes by himself.
yeah, he did, but, so what we want to do is kind of clean up everything. It was a mistake that we paid also.
Their
taxes. So all of that needs to be addressed. Question to you now, and this is an estimate. What do you think it would take for everything to clear up, us to get things done right, hopefully before the tax filing April? April is the tax filing, okay. But also we need to address the thing with the
Orange
employees.
is tax filing for corporations.
So how would you,
March. Okay.
we just need an estimated, conservative estimate as saying that, okay, it might take this amount from the CPA person to make sure everything is taken care of. Because we just need to add that to the $6,000.
Yeah, I mean, I won't be able to give you a ballpark because I don't know, I still don't understand the complete situation of what's going on with
You got a letter from the
I
IRS,
know.
what did it say?
well, we sent them a letter requesting an understanding of what it is, why they're charging those fees.
They shouldn't be charging fees. We have a letter from the IRS saying that we've been released from any penalties and prior to bankruptcy, and since bankruptcy, we pay the IRS, they take it right out of our bank account.
Who have copy of it? You have copy of it?
I do not have it anymore. Nick has to have it in his computer. My computer is wiped out.
Okay, so we just pass that on to you, but in your estimate, I know you don't, I'm not talking about CPA, but what you think that we should put, just to cover. If we could go over, that's fine, but just to make sure we have something to deal with.
I mean, I'm in a ballpark, I can tell you 1,000, 2,000, I might be completely off. I'd rather, I don't know, I mean, I really wish I could give you a
We
figure.
already got $2,800. It's going to cost us about $2,000. We're going to spend about $1,500.
So we need to for the $8,000.
Now, one thing I do want to mention, and I know we discussed it in the beginning when we were coming on board, was bringing him on to our payroll. So you have to, these are the things that you eliminate by doing this. And I know I was in agreement, and it's already within my agreement, that I would release him should something occur amongst us. You know, you take all these issues off your hands by doing that. You don't have to worry about unemployment taxes and having that fee should it occur, should whoever it is that's here doesn't file it in time. Those are things that we'll worry about internally.
Well, explain that. We don't, none of us really understand that. We're going to pay, we're going to pay you 26%, right?
Correct.
Okay. You're going to pay his Social Security, his FUTA, SUTA, God knows what,
Everything gets taken care of.
Workman's compensation and all of that. So we just can wipe out our workman's compensation policy and wipe out any taxes we have and all that bookkeeping, right?
You won't have any payroll services, you won't have, it comes out cheaper.
Much better thing for us.
It comes out, and then moving forward, you don't have to worry about that. Backwards, we're still going to have to figure out why it is that you're getting those unemployment fees and the IRS issue. You still have to address that, but now moving forward, you know, okay, I'm done with this headache.
Well, the unemployment fees are because of the previous board, not because of our board.
Correct. No, I'm not saying, I don't know who it is. I'm just saying I'm going to have to research and see what it is. What I'm telling you is that's not going to go
We paid
away.
it.
But
I showed you, we paid it.
Oh,
We
yeah, I saw that.
actually did pay it.
But moving forward, you won't have that concern any longer. And as I stated, it's already in the agreement that should things not work out, then. And also what I include as well is I provided 7 pairs of uniforms with, let's say, affinity shirt and a cap, so it looks a little bit more professional. And that's already included within that 26%. So it's food for thought. If you guys want, I can send you again. It's just that one-page addendum. All it tells you is what the hourly rate is and what the overtime rate is, which is 1.5.
We'll do that in our general meeting.
Email that to us.
Yeah, I'll email to you again, yeah.
So how much you're talking about that we would pay
20?
year,
I'm sorry?
next year?
$6,800. I told you this week.
$6,800.
Yeah,
That's all.
For what? I'm sorry, I missed the
For
question.
Henry's salary.
And
Besides his salary.
would that be over 26% roughly?
It's the $12 an hour, which is what he told me you guys pay him, plus 26%. That times 40 times 52 gives you what the annual is. I can tell you.
We paid
now.
$13. I did it, $6,800.
So we would pay 16.
I did that, we talked about this the other day.
That's what my position is, I'd rather save.
Yeah.
I
No, the agreement is.
just want to make
I'll
sure.
do it again, just so you see.
Yes, but you can understand the difference.
$960 bi-weekly times 26 weeks is $24,000, I'd like to give him a raise, but $24,960 times 26% is $6,489.60 we're going to pay them, no? To take care of his thing. We can take, well, you can go minus 1,100 right away because, oh, I didn't do that right. But we can go minus 1,100 right away because that's our workman's comp policy.
Okay, so right now where you guys stand is you're lowering the management fee to $27.50. Any other?
Do we want to
Second line.
adding on the second line for any that
You can
extra
go
to clean up our mess finally with the taxes?
$8,000.
Is it better to put possible to put another line, accounting fees, and specify that, and put another 2,000 in for that?
I can add, yeah, you're saying to add another line item? I mean, keep in
That
mind.
way, next year, when whoever's looking at the budget, they see, okay, this line item was for this mess, that isn't something that should be
Well, put
required.
accounting fees, no, see, that's wrong, actually. The CPA tax audit and filing is $6,300, and then put underneath additional accounting fees and put down $2,000. But this is actually $6,300.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You want me to add an additional line item?
Yes.
Or you could essentially leave it under accounting fees. Yeah.
Put 8,300. Do 8,300.
Okay, well, that's 63.
63 and 2 is 83. Licenses and permits, I don't think can
No, this
change.
is,
And this is fine. Licenses and permits, that's the state of the same. Bank charges are an estimate,
But
that's
this
the
is
same.
Yeah.
You did reduce, you did add into our bank charges, right? Yeah, you did.
But going,
The $1,200 is gonna cost for those coupon books, right?
no, but that's not CPA.
No, I know, but we need to count.
The other information that you said about reconstruction, would that be under the same account or no? Or that would be under something else, or would that be?
All right, the way we're going to categorize, I guess, if we're going, what these really are, these are just what we call GL codes. So for instance, keep in mind that you do have a balance. It all depends what you're trying to do as a board, because ultimately you do have a balance, a positive balance. You're going to have a positive balance in your bank account at the end of the year. If what you're trying to do is make sure that balance stays exactly the same at the end of the following year, I mean, unfortunately, I don't have good financials to be able to report, because for instance, if I had a good set of financials, I can say, well, last year you were positive, so you don't necessarily need to, per se, put these items into your budget. It's always going to reflect in your financial statements and your income and expense where the money's went.
This year was a negative. This year we're at a positive. Our positive is because we have an extra $50,000, no problem with your insurance company, and we have an extra about $5 a month from each house that we're not spending because we won't spend money.
Okay.
Because we're real cheap.
So then, yeah, so then with that being said, for instance, what we could do is leave that for the end of the budget, and if we notice, let's just say, because right now you have a negative change of 1.8, you have a positive change of 2.3. When we finish, I'll add it up, and I'll tell you, okay, we're under. And if we are, we could just leave it at the 115, and that might just cover all these fees. Instead of adding, 5 or 6 different line items that are going to be removed, you don't need to remove them every year.
Okay. Just here, bank charges now are an SOP?
No, we have an accounting fee.
We've already done that. We did it.
As what? What's the total?
What I have is a positive change, which will be 8.3 would be the change.
8,300.
300. Okay, the second, then we go in the license and permit.
License and permit stays the same. We can't change that. Bank charges, that's what I want to talk about. They're going to charge us $1,200 for the coupon books to send out in January, the bank.
Right.
Whether we want them or not.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
I got a question. You just touched on license and permits, but in 12,000, it was 9,000 something, and this year you're only putting 1,500 for. Why is that? You're putting a lot less in the budget of 2013 for licensing and permit, right?
No, because that's all the licenses and permits we actually pay.
Yeah, but how come in 2012 it's 9,302
No idea.
$2, but look at 2013, it's only 1,540.
I think that's wrong.
That's a huge difference. What license permit did we leave out or not pay, or do you understand what I'm asking?
No, yeah, I understand completely. I have no idea why they put 9,300, because really you're paying $4 per unit per year. And the only other permit that you could possibly pay, is your pool permit, which is $300 a year. So I don't know why that figure was so astronomical the year before. So that's why we brought it down to a figure that it really is going to be what it is.
So this is the actual figure.
Remember, the budgets are never actual, they're ranges. But yeah, I can't say, because maybe there was a permit that was pulled for a big project or something and we wanted to categorize it. I can't speak for that figure.
Could it have been the pool?
I think that's wrong. I just think that's wrong.
I know we didn't spend that. It was budgeted.
If it was
I'm
budgeted
not
for,
sure
then it was
why.
wrong.
We budgeted, but I can't say why.
Just a question, I didn't understand.
Bank
I
charges.
can't imagine what licenses and permits we had for 9,000.
No, we didn't have any. Because it's wrong. Whatever it is, it's wrong.
I really don't remember we paying.
We
The
have-
only thing we pay,
We have to pull up the old budget, actually. Do you have the old budget, anybody?
Well, what I did was actually just copy your old budget. This 2012, this was what you guys copied.
Okay, so then,
This
when
is
we
not
go to
just
bank
what-
charges now, the only thing I have a question about is, now, we do pay about $40, $50 a month, sometimes more, for all the people that have the return checks, that come back. And we're going to have to pay $1,200. Does that cover it, you think?
I went off the figure that you provided me in your Excel spreadsheet. That's
Okay.
what you
That's
that's I went off your sheet. That's what that figure.
community events, can we wipe that out completely and not have any more community events?
Oh. No.
No. Okay, then you gotta leave community events in. He wanted to spend $5,100 for a Christmas party right now. We only put $4,000 into this year.
I want to put 5,000.
5,000, you want to increase it.
That's up to discussion. That's up to discussion.
That way next year.
How many events do we plan to do?
Hmm?
How many events do we plan to do?
No, I'm not planning to do anything.
Okay.
I'm looking at one for Christmas. I think Christmas is a family. We've done it in the past, and it was a very really nice thing that everyone not only brought the family, but they invited the guests, which brought the kids, and we had a very nice time outside. I think that's a very nice event.
Okay, so we're only going to do a Christmas event, though. We're not going to do any other.
Well, for what you can do any other thing, I'm just talking for what I'm going to do for Christmas, but we can do, there's Halloween, well, they wanted to do one for Halloween. The coordinator didn't go forward with that, but Easter, there could be something, but again, if that's the case, then we need to put in.
So this 5,000 is just for Christmas.
If we plan any other events,
It's
it's
just
going to be a
Correct.
self-sustaining event.
Correct. Or you're bringing down your Christmas budget.
Am I allowed to make a comment about events like Christmas parties and things? We're a community that was supposed to be able to fix our roads, our pathways, our common areas, our parking spaces, which the people that live over across from me broke all of our concrete parking stops this weekend during their party, by the way. Now, we're supposed to be taking care of those kind of things. Now, we have our own parties, and you're all invited. No, and I will invite some other people in the neighborhood if they want to come. I mean, but most of the people that come to those parties, most of the people that come to our parties in the past, are the people that didn't pay anything at all for years here. Those were most of the people that came. They got their free hot dog and their free whatever. I don't think it's a bad idea to have a party when we're in the red, when we're flush. And then we put it in the thing and everybody looks and says, okay, that's a good idea to spend that much money on a party because we're flush now. But when we're struggling to try to put enough money just to finish half a pathway around our lake because the other guy doesn't want to do it, I don't think we should be spending $4,000 or $5,000 or anything else on Christmas, Easter, Hanukkah, whatever other holiday. I think we should just say, well, let's forget holidays for a while. We don't even have to forget them. Let's do a holiday where everybody in the neighborhood makes something, brings it here to the pool, and has, like in my sister's neighborhood, which is the wealthiest neighborhood in Chicago, Illinois. She lives in Oak Park, Illinois. They all have a block party. Everybody does everything. Brings all the food, all the entertainment, the people themselves, they have a clown, they have Santa Claus, they do that. The people dress up and do that, because they're interested in doing it. My idea is, yes, I'd love to have a party where all of us were interested in doing it, and then maybe all of those interested people will show up in our meetings. Now, every month and be interested in our community, and somebody else can do our work that we don't have to do anymore. They'll take over and be the president, vice president, secretary, whatever. And we can go sit at home and take care of our kids and our grandchildren like we want to. So it would be nice if we did that kind of party. But for us to actually pay for a party from the Marbella Park Homeowner Association, I think no. I'd be willing to put in $100 of my money, my personal money, towards a party, so I don't have to cook anything, or just tell the people, if you want to cook, if you'd like to donate money, whatever they'd like to do to make a party happen, that would be nice, I like that part, and I'll donate $100.
Is that it?
Huh?
Yeah,
I think that's enough for one person in one house. If I had 5 people in my house, maybe I'd donate $500. But I have only one person in my house. I think $100 isn't generous enough.
okay, I hear you.
So I think we should take the $4,000 out of the budget,
Your point is
and we can put it somewhere else.
Your point is nothing.
We didn't have it in this year either. We had no budget for it.
No, we had 2,500 budget.
You can call me Scrooge if you want, but I just think it's financially, physically responsible not to spend money on this when we have so many other things we need to spend money on.
I heard.
Okay, I'll shut up.
Okay. I mean, we need to make a motion and see where we want to go with that line.
I'll make a motion we take out any budget for events. Is that a
And
second?
wait just a minute, I'm just gonna ask another question.
Oh, okay.
Just a minute. You mentioned if we looking at other functions. I don't know, I was thinking only for Christmas. That's the way I'm thinking that, just one other day event.
If we can get one function with other people will put in and do something, then we can do it a lot of functions.
Weird.
I think that's a good idea. We spread it out, keep the budget, 4,000, 5,000, whatever, which is a relatively small amount in a community this size. And we can spread it out over 3 or 4 events. If you're going to do it, the community, the association's going to have to contribute something, give the homeowners a reason. Come, okay, now we're going to pitch in our part. You know, whether we supply the hot dogs or whatever, you know, something. Maybe we don't spend $5,100 on one party or $5,000 on one party. We spread it out, but we've got to have something in the budget if we decide we want to do that for any of the holidays or any time of year. I think we should do something to it.
Maybe a summer party.
Okay, y'all can vote anywhere you want. My idea is if we get the whole community, for all of them to sacrifice, that's like what I think our government should do too. All of them to sacrifice and make a party, then we can put in a budget for that.
We urge your point. Now do your motion.
Okay, I made my motion, I have to wipe it out, y'all can vote anywhere you want, go ahead. Just vote.
No, we have to go ahead and do a second to you.
Okay, I make a motion that we wipe out events budgets for this year, coming year, 2013. I have no second, so then somebody else make a motion.
I go back, I moved up the budget $1,000 for,
I'm sorry, Ms. Evans, how much?
I make a motion that we budget $5,000 for community event.
I'll second that. I think when the time comes, we need to discuss it ahead of time and determine how we want to handle it. I mean, if it's kind of hard to tell one board member or one homeowner, go ahead and do it, and then when he sets it all up, tell him, okay, we're not going to do it. So we need to know what we want to spend on it, whatever events we decide to do in advance, so we can discuss it. And if we agree to it at the time, you know, just because we budget it doesn't mean we have to spend it. But if we don't budget it, if we don't budget it, we can still spend it, but it looks bad, and there's no reason to do that. What's your thought?
But I think 5,000 is a lot. I think Richard makes a good point that we have other places we should be spending it. I would like to see maybe like $1,000. Just, I think it's better if the community chips in, but maybe you have a few incidentals. Maybe the association has to pick up a little bit here and there. So for me, 1,000 would probably be good. Allison, any feedback on the website about anybody missing parties or wanting to see
So-
community events?
When we announced that there was going to be no Christmas party, we had about 6 or 7 people who said that not a problem. Why don't we have Christmas decorations out front? That's been the only.
That's not a bad one.
Well, I can say to you that divided into 385 come out to $1.08. You are saying you can do, we're saying we're talking about Christmas event. The same issue with the lights. That's why the lights are not up. Because we don't have the money. You don't have the money for anything.
Don't we have?
My point,
Don't we
No.
own lights from last year?
No, those
They're shot.
they're shut. My point is, we need to budget. That we use it or not, like, Nick said, is a different story. But we need to have it in the budget, that's my point. Okay? Because right now, we don't need to be in a year discussing if we do an event or if we buy lights, if it's in the budget. It's in the budget. If we need to do it, we do it. If we don't need to do it, we don't do it. But we don't have to vote on it no more. It's the same thing like maintenance. Maintenance, everything, something need to be repaired around here. We take it out of the cash. I don't come and say, hey, we need to vote on $200, $300, $500. Right now, we can take probably close to $1,000 to paint the street to let it look good for the Christmas.
Well, we have $2,500 that we put in this year's budget. What did we spend on?
We did. And that's what I'm saying to you.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying to you. I'm just saying to you is, what we're saying is, what I'm hearing from the research is let's take that out.
And I don't agree totally, I just think 5,000 is excessive, but I think we should have something, and we have $2,500 in this year's budget that we could spend and buy lights right now. I mean,
But you see, but that's not community event. That's community
We did not
decoration.
budget this year for events.
well, we have
If it's
$2,500.
in there, it's wrong, because we did not, I went through that last year's budget over and we had no, zero. I sent you on an email about that. We had no budget for events last year.
We put it, I remember discussing.
Yeah, I copied your.
No, we did, we put it in, we discussed it last year because we planned to have a Christmas event. We did, absolutely. I remember.
Yeah, the only thing I do feel community events are very important to the community. Even, you've gone, I understand every association, you've gone through their hard time and so forth. The figure is a dollar figure you guys determine. I do feel that it's very important, especially a community this size. You still have members, I know most of the time we want to think about the members that don't pay, but we want to think a lot more about the people that do pay, who have upheld the community, and you want to keep that unity amongst the members. Not doing events, a lot of times people just feel like, oh, well, whatever, I don't care. When there's events and things involved, they get involved with you, they interact much more, they feel part of something.
And if you look at it, it's just $1. Now you can put in 2,500, that's what, 50 cents per home. It doesn't matter, but.
Well, to make it less complicated, why don't we just leave it where it's at?
Yep.
4,000, it doesn't really affect anything else we're planning to do, because that's what's already in there.
What, you mean at the 2,500?
That's at 4,000.
I'll leave where it's at, 4,000. Yeah, I'll do that with the, not gonna be stipulated in the budget, but the understanding among us board members that when the time comes, we'll discuss it and discuss the best way to do it, and hopefully come to an understanding whether we want to do it at the time or not. And not that, I don't want to just go in and say, well, we got a budget, so we'll spend it. Let's talk about it and see if we want to, if we can. It's one thing also to say, let's get everybody to bring something. And not, if I were to say that right now, I know when the time comes at Easter or 4th of July or whatever, I'm not going to be the one knocking on people's doors. I'm just being realistic with what I can.
I think the last one can do that.
Can we vote on the motion?
Yeah.
We have a motion to keep it, motion on the table for $5,000. Can we vote on that motion? I vote no.
All in favor? I'll say yes.
Say yes.
All opposed, no.
Now take another motion.
We have a motion
To
to
leave it at
leave it at 4,000. I'll second it. All in favor? I'm okay with that.
All right.
I vote no.
So let's move on.
So do we pass it? Yeah.
4,000.
Okay. We're done. Good. legal fees. Okay, we had last year $25,000 in legal fees. I calculated what we paid Maloney, to date. I didn't count in anything about Opel, and averaged that out over the year, and it came up to $700-800. It might be low, but that's kind of like what's been going on, so.
Marbella was a significant,
Oh, thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
and there should not be anything like that
No,
this year.
ever again, if we
Most of
could
our
do
legal
something about that.
fees now, hopefully we,
Yeah,
throw it
constantly.
into, be
Most
charged
of
to
it
the
he
homeowner.
collects from the people.
Right.
So,
I think 650 a month. Reasonable, I mean, we need to have him, when we need something reviewed, we need to have him ready to go.
I would say $1,000.
$1,000 a month.
I would say $1,000.
we can do that. I just
Just to
did
leave room for
what-
any.
the little thing without all that other, like we don't get sued or anything, I didn't put any lawsuits or anything. This was just what we've been paying him for foreclosures, for his office
See what that
supplies and
puts us at the end, Jay.
whatever, average. But
So
12,000.
you guys are 12 then, right now?
12 would be okay.
Insurance,
Insurance is that's it. Unless they raise us. We have no knowledge of that.
office supplies, we have a budget for office supplies.
It should be about that.
Bankruptcy payment is what it
It
is.
is what it
Yeah, we can change that.
4 more years, 3 more years.
Are you sure we only have 55 homes not paying? I get we have,
Remember we had the last meeting where we sat, you guys spoke the figures because I really don't have figures, and I just pretty much, I didn't manipulate the numbers you guys agreed on at the last meeting,
we
I
can
just
do
copied
this.
and
This
pasted.
is very simple. We get 28.
But we did count the amount and it was just about that figure. When we were here, we did count
Okay,
that
so
amount.
we won't talk about
No, Richard,
And again, this is a,
At the low, yeah.
From what I see all year we've gotten $28,000 a month. No? Which is 200 homes. We're short 85 homes, not 55 homes.
Okay. I say we bump it up.
So we're like, it just look at, if you just go back to September. We got $29,000. We had an extra $1,000 in September. But if you go back all the months for the whole year,
What you have to keep in mind, this is the way, what you have to keep in mind is that, and I say it more in essence of that things are getting better, and I'm looking at last year's budget again. I'm kind of playing with a deck of cards that are missing some cards. You calculated already last year for 55 people. All right, so every year, if you didn't have that last year, then I would agree with you. You know what, we should have it for the specific amount of people that are not paying your maintenance fees. But in this particular case, I'm sure there's been already a couple of transactions that have turned over.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure you had a bad debt to the year prior to that.
worse.
Because if
Worse.
not, you wouldn't have 100,000, or let's say you eliminated the $50,000 insurance payment, you wouldn't have those 50,000 in your account today.
You're right.
So I would leave this line item for the end because already as you guys are going, you're already increasing the budget. And I'm not arguing to not increase it, I'm just trying to say, hey, mathematically, you're kind
I
of
agree
doing
with
it
that.
the right way.
I agree too. Awesome. Okay, we're on.
Alright, electricity,
Doesn't change.
water and sewer,
Doesn't change.
telephone,
Doesn't change.
and there's no cable. Storm drains.
I don't think we need to spend that much. We spent half of that, didn't we?
I think we need to leave it there.
Okay. General maintenance, that's Henry's paychecks. I think we need to raise that.
No, but I want to make, no, general maintenance is our monthly expenses. Henry comes lower in the contract services. He should be under janitorial services.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
General maintenance leave the same.
Okay, maintenance supplies. Sound about right?
That's, yeah.
Okay, wait. Let's backtrack. General maintenance, that's general maintenance.
Okay, we can do that, and I would make my point, the arms, all the stuff.
Okay, but that isn't that
Air
separate?
conditioners we put in, you know, huh?
No, that's what I'm asking. The general maintenance, I know that was with the air conditioning units,
Yeah,
but the thing with for future reference, that have to do with the gates. If you're not including it, that I think that's separate line, right?
If we put in gates, but this is like to repair the gates, you know, to do all the repairs that we do with outside vendors. That's right. I was gonna bring that up, we don't have to bring that up now, we have something in there to repair our gates and to do our pay for our outside vendors, so we're all set.
So that will include all.
I was gonna ask that question, but it's
I'll clarify what we would consider, okay, general maintenance would be, if,
$3,000 a month we spend, every month we have checks. You sign it.
yeah.
Running.
General maintenance is just a code, a general maintenance. So for instance, anything, let's just say the gate does break down, that would go under that general maintenance code. So you have $3,000 a month for general repairs in the community, and then since you don't have a line item for specific gate repairs, that would also go in there. So that you basically have about $3,081 a month to spend on those general. So another example, Ernesto asked about today for someone to come for irrigation. You don't have a specific line item for irrigation, so we would actually put any repairs under general maintenance for that irrigation system.
Thank you.
I haven't thought about irrigation, but we'll keep going. Let's go on. We have
Plants,
plant replacement. We have half or more than half of all our hedges have died. Completely died. Besides, we should be assessing some of the homes that ripped out the hedges, no, and have them put back their hedges, no, and then the community pays and have the ones that aren't the homeowner's fault and replace them, so at least our neighbor's looking better. Our grass is looking better, our trees are looking better, our shrubbery's looking better, but we need to at least get along the fence, those things fixed.
right, and I mean, there's some of those that we're gonna have to wait another month or two for, gonna need to get settled in, and we're gonna start. The gentleman here on the corner that tore out his thing, opened up his gate, you know, so he could do work, he's gonna have to replace those plants.
Right, exactly. Everybody should do. I replaced mine that
But that's something I'll address down the road. But is 7,500 a good number for that?
well, that's what our gardener gave us.
That's the number. Okay.
Your gardener gave us that number for this picture.
For next year.
Pool furniture has been purchased.
Well, he gave us 10,000, just to make it clear. He asked for 10,000, I asked him if he thought he could do it for 7,500, and he said yes, so.
We bought all new pool furniture this year.
We don't
It's
have any more.
secured down. We shouldn't have to buy any more anytime soon. Entry system.
Okay, that was my biggest question. I put it in the budget I gave you all. They're 20-something, 30-something thousand dollars to do the gates, but I've been thinking about this a whole lot. If we're really gonna think about putting a gated community up here with those kind of gates, we really should think about doing what Lakes on the Green did and closing this side only for residents and paying for half the guards over there and leaving that side open.
To be honest, I think the ship has sailed as far as doing anything in conjunction with the Woods.
Well, maybe.
They already did their gates.
Gates.
They put all new the entire mechanisms, Brandon. The entire mechanism.
Yeah, but they just push the button and everybody goes in anyway.
Okay, but that's all he had ever planned to do. So he's probably done talking to us. He just said, screw these guys.
That was a great.
So he's gonna do that and then do the gates again.
Once
Well,
the,
he's stupid, so.
you need to refrain yourself.
Not from that.
You need to refrain
Okay.
your comments. Right system was not working well, so they upgraded their ours. Once we sign the agreement, the idea is to place a system, not only a gate there, but also a system where you can push the button, call the homeowner, and they can let you through. They can lock that system, that area completely. And when it's busy, then they will have a car within certain time. Okay. That's the idea. So what they have done so far is just upgrade an antiquated system that they have, because they don't have someone that can keep it up like we do. Then it chose not to go that route.
They understand.
So what
They don't
do
have
we-
something to keep it up like we do? I didn't understand that.
Because they've been having problems with the system that they have previously.
They don't have a system, they have just a guy who pushes a button just like we do.
Well, I guess I'll just interject real quick, just so I remember hearing at the last meeting, there could be a possibility that you're gonna put a gate, correct? Typically, the way you're gonna wanna do this is, you're not gonna put it into the budget, the reason being is because you won't have the money until the end of next year. So an item like that, that's outside the budget, what you would consider at that time, if it does occur, is a special assessment, a small special assessment for whatever it totals. If you don't wanna do that route, then you're gonna,
We ain't going that route.
okay.
That's for sure.
Then, just because the reason why we suggested that way is because then you constantly have a fluctuation in your budget. You know, if you're gonna increase it $30,000, ultimately you still won't have that money till the end of the year. You have someone that's gonna buy a home and goes, but why are the maintenance fees here $250 a month when next door they're $150?
Nowhere.
No, just explaining to you the way it's typically done. Again, if you wanna put it into budget, that's ultimately your decision. I'm just giving you my professional advice.
Well, weren't we gonna use the 50,000 from the insurance element anyway?
That was the idea. That was gonna be the idea for backup.
Right, so instead of.
So then you wouldn't have to put it.
So it wouldn't be in the budget
I
because
have
it's
a
not
different
in
problem about this.
the
If we can put close, I don't care if we close their section or us, it just seems to me makes more sense to close our gates here and make it only for residents, close gates. No, and we pay half of that gate and they pay half of that gate. We pay half of the security guards and they pay half of the security guards. No, we save $60,000 a year, and so have they, in security. And they can have, and the gates are paid for. We don't have to include it in the budget. If we both build gates and are going to have security guards, sometimes the security guards, not sometimes, it's just really confusing, and we're spending all of that money. All of us, both of them. If we close, just like Lakes on the Green has, they have, and they're nice, they have one side closed nights, and you need to be a resident to get in, and it would be good because of the school to do it over here and put a gate card for the kids that live here so they can come in from the outside gate. But it would reduce our costs after the first year of $60,000 a year.
Yes, but you're dealing with details. Right now, we just
Right, we
need
just need to
to.
determine budget,
Yeah.
and so we don't need to put anything in the budget, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So we won't put anything budget for that.
No, but because we have that backup.
Yeah.
So, let's move on.
interest system. Full maintenance. This is
No
what we
change.
pay.
That's what we're paying.
Security services, this is what we pay.
Huh?
This is what we pay, 124.
Exactly. Well, we paid a little more because we had a guy at the pool.
Are we gonna keep that?
Well, we have to, in reference to that, I think we need to look at that from March.
I think we keep it budgeted.
Yeah.
If we decide we don't need it at the pool, we have the option for open.
So they should,
So then this is low, Richard?
then you should change this to 128. Because that's what it was actually paid, was 128.
You want to change it to 128?
128, that's what we actually paid this year. We had a portion of the year that we had a guard at the pool.
Okay.
We actually paid 128.
Finally have
Alright, so I'll bring that up 4K then.
Right.
Okay?
So we'll
That's
go up to-
Henry, that's Henry's salary. I wanted to give Henry a raise. Henry does,
So we can talk about that.
Okay. How much?
we pay him $13 an hour.
Okay. That's how much more?
Hmm?
How much more is that?
$2 an hour.
How much?
Oh, I don't know. He can tell us.
Alright, so, well, just so we're clear, he gets paid 12 now, so you want to increase it to 13.
No, he gets paid 13. We want to increase it to 15.
Wait, I just spoke to him, he told me he gets paid 12
Well, he
dollars.
gets paid $13 an hour. He goes at 13 times 40 equals, no? Warning him $12 an hour?
I asked him, I mean, I called him. That's what
Well, I think we
I
started,
actually spoke to him.
we started with 12.
So let's pay him 14.
Yeah, we
We started with 12.
So we didn't give him a raise, we gave him a bonus last year. But let's give him $14
No, you
an
guys
hour.
tell me.
Hello? Give
Well,
him
let's put it,
And then I'll tell you what, if you tell
let's
me
get
what.
our number, see where our numbers are.
Perfect, okay.
Let's do it, because we're gonna be high to begin with, and we're gonna have to adjust to make it add up, because it's gotta
Correct.
match our income. So let's make a note, definitely.
I agree,
again,
we did
look at that.
Where are we?
How much more is that? That's not how much more?
Hmm?
Richard? We have 30 now, that would be probably.
About 4,000 employees.
Alright, based on what you told me,
Roughly
with-
about 4,000.
at the 26, it's actually 36,691.
Right.
What we would be the yearly.
Uh-huh.
So you could round it up 37, it'll be just a difference of $300.
So that would
37
be-
even, so that goes down
43.
2.9K, sorry, not $2,900.
Okay, that's good. So that'll take him to 14?
That's what you told me, 14 times 26%.
That's perfect.
So that's
And so
43.
if our budget is less.
It would be, I would bring it down.
Because we're,
Correct, because we're bringing them
because
on.
we're changing the,
Right.
so you said 30, what?
I just put at 37 round, it's 36,691 if you want to be exact.
Yeah, do 37,000, that's fine.
So 92.
The savings from there, I'm taking, and that's putting him at 14.
That's at 14 now.
Let's see. We might talk about that again. Golf cart, where's our new golf cart? That's what we pay
Corporate.
until we find,
Can we rent, I mean, we're renting the golf cart. Can we buy them and what does it cost them to own them?
You can buy them. The problem is sometimes it's just the maintenance of it. Some places will give you maintenance agreements. They're gonna charge maybe $80 a month, sometimes what you pay for the lease. I could look into it. Let's just say you leave it and then give me some time so I could really look into it and give you a better analysis.
yeah, we'll leave the budget as it is, but
And then next year we could say, okay, look, or maybe in the middle of the year, we say, no, we're gonna cancel. But I don't know if you currently have a lease, if it's a month to month or what it is.
Month to month.
Month to month, okay. Well, I'll make a note
Yeah,
to
if you look
the
at
manager,
yours-
the manager look into that.
somebody was going to spraying and fertilizing. Landscaping. Is that right? Did you increase from last year?
$500. Our contract is 10%.
And tree trimming,
Mhm.
same?
Yeah, we haven't got that bill yet.
Lake maintenance, why do we have nothing for that?
Just because last year you had it, and then he told me that this year you don't.
We didn't do it.
This guy,
Don't we need to treat-
he was checking,
Oh, okay, yeah, because he sent me an email to remove it, so I.
Jenny?
I called Aquagenics, they gave us a quote for $225 a month, no? And we did that at a meeting a long time ago, and somebody said they would take care of it. But they've never come, they haven't been here for 5 years. We haven't had our lake treated in 5 years. And except for the sawgrass that grows in some places, our lake's pretty good. We might need it treated, but we should get some kind of expert to come in besides them and see if we need to have it treated.
From what I've seen, what we could do is,
It's
now that I
20
know
years
this,
old.
I can put together 2 or 3, have the manager work on putting together 2 or 3 proposals. Again, you're positive in your bank account, if we notice this is something that we must do, because you do have to be careful, if you don't treat the lake, it could become full algae and then it's even much more expensive. But we'll look into
You
it.
sure ain't got paid up there.
We'll look into it. As I stated, you guys are positive in your account, so if it's $2,000 and it's something that will reflect in your income and expense for next year, we'll say, okay, now we'll add it in the budget
Yeah,
and
good.
have a better calculation. Because from the looks of
They
it
don't
right
wanna
now.
just ignore it.
No, definitely not, definitely not.
But you know, they haven't treated our lake in 5 years.
So?
It's signed checks, yeah.
No,
But
never.
but that was passed, that doesn't mean you continue.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
What do we pay for marketing? What do we pay this guy to put these flyers out?
$50 a month.
That goes on the maintenance.
That goes under general maintenance? Okay.
But a copy doesn't need letter that go on the general maintenance.
Okay.
You wanted to bump it something else?
No, I just wanted to make sure I didn't see it in here and I didn't know that maintenance, that was maintenance. So,
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm wishing that. Okay.
All right, you're looking at right now, an increase of budget of 5.8K, 5,800 a month.
Which comes out to
I'm sorry,
117. That's right, that was I did.
One second. I apologize, not a month, it's a year. Divided by 385. So it'll be an additional $1.26 per unit owner.
Would you say it was 5,000?
5,800 would be the increase. And if you divide that by 12, divided by 385, it gives you $1.26 per owner, so the maintenance fees would be 117.26, approximately, plus or minus a couple cents.
I would say, not to be messing with this too much, we take that amount off of janitorial services.
and so that's Henry's salary.
The reason I say that,
I say
Because-
take it off the
the reason I say
General
that,
maintenance.
the reason I say that is because I would say within the next first 6 months, we should make a decision if we will go.
No, this,
That
we've already
includes them already
taken,
going over
that's
there.
after taking 20, almost 3,000 off.
Yeah, we took 3,000 off.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2,900 to be exact.
If you want to keep it the same, take it off of the
When
75,000.
you tell me $6,000, you said, was that monthly or?
A year, $6,800 a year.
A year,
What, 5,800?
You're positive 5,800, correct?
This is, that's what it's gonna cost to go through them.
And
We
you
have
said
an
it.
increase, yeah.
But he told me 60 a year. You that's.
That's- Just look at it, you want to look so you can see, look, we paid Henry, no,
We go down a little bit.
You're paying more than that because you don't pay in the hour, you still pay, you have to pay FICA, you have to pay payroll services.
we paid Henry
We
right
got
now.
legal at
$12, let's do $14 an hour.
Richard, you don't have to go through
I
that.
feel, yeah.
Yeah, I have the actual figures, yeah. So I'm gonna break it down.
$1,600 now.
We had legal at
Okay,
12
but
now.
you told me,
We bumped that to
we go with
10,000.
them
I have at 12.2,
a year.
is what you guys said, yeah. I'm sorry,
Oh,
I apologize.
37,
12,000, I have
that's
4.2.
a year.
Because you take $30,000 that we're paying him,
The extra
and the $7,000 that we pay them, that comes to 37.
So you 68,000, that 60 was
Let's do that.
minus.
We're not, let's put the
This
legal
is
fees at 10,000.
Henry's salary. We pay Henry in
Well,
stock.
that was my point.
Hey, then take the rest.
What I understood from you,
I'm sorry.
Take the other $3,800 off general maintenance.
Of general needs, okay, so I'm gonna put, legal.
that's what I understood.
Well, that was really, no, we pay Henry's salary plus $6,800.
And then
And then take it from the general maintenance, you said. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna make maintenance fees the same, zero base. And then just so we're clear, so, I'm reducing the management fees $1,800 for the year. I'm increasing the accounting fees to 8,300. All right. The The legal fees are gonna be 10,000. The general maintenance is gonna get reduced to give me 0. I'll get that done. The security service is gonna go up to 128,000. And then the janitorial services will be reduced, 2.9K. So I'll make sure it zeroes out. That'll give you 115 that evening.
So then we're balanced. Henry gets a raise. There's no increase.
Now, all that being said, what are we gonna do about reserves moving forward?
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do it already proactively, like I told you guys in the interview. I'm gonna bid it, have 3 reserve specialists come out, give us proposals, and then you guys make a decision on our board meeting who you wanna use. And the reserve specialist is probably gonna take a month or 2. They're gonna go through every single component that the association has in excess of $5,000 for the repair. And they're gonna break it down for you, the useful life, what you should be putting away year to year, and then that way in the following year, you're making a professional educated decision with the members. That's, a lot of times what I tell the boards nowadays is, yeah, we're paying much more fees than we did before, but what you can start doing as a board is your bad debt. You never want to just eliminate that and just lower the fees completely. Ultimately, as you guys know, being on the board, that there's constant repairs. What you can start doing is now using those monies and pushing it towards reserves. So maybe the following year, you start putting money away for the clubhouse and the pool. The following year, as your delinquency starts to reduce, we're going to use this money to use this, and then that way the owners don't have that impact of, oh, the fees just keep increasing. No, the fees will remain the same, but we'll actually have money in reserves. We'll be able to repair the item without special assessments.
We have to have reserves.
No, you have, yeah.
We have to have reserves in a community this big, and besides that, our bylaws require. We're in violation of our bylaws right now. At some point over the last 6 years, our reserves, they stopped putting into our reserves, and the reserve account got disappeared. That was, I don't know when, I know it was after 2006 and before 2011. So we haven't been able to, there's a right way to do it, that's why we didn't try to do it this year, because it just, it seems like every year we're dealing with management issues and problems. Now that we have Affinity on board, we're going to have it ready for next year. And we'll make it right, it's just, this takes time.
Shouldn't the income section reflect the rentals that we're receiving from the homes? If we're renting homes, shouldn't that be in the income?
It can, if you want to get very technical, we could use those as you saw that they just reduced a couple items. We use those as cushion items, as additional income to use throughout.
The thing with that is to budget for that at any time that could stop.
Correct.
You know, they could be, it's a month-to-month basis with the bank comes in and,
Correct.
so if we budget for it and it stops tomorrow, then, we're counting on it. We don't want to count on it. If we have it, that's more we can do for the community.
Just for the technicality, if you guys can make the motion or wants to make it to approve it.
See, we made a couple of adjustments to legal fees and to the maintenance, general maintenance, so that we would balance without an increase.
I'm good with that.
I move that we.
I don't say legal, he's taking it out of
But I think the still has it.
the bad debt. Reduce the bad debt, leave everything else.
We had 1,500 above. Oh,
What are we talking about, Ernest? I'm sorry.
you told them when you came over with those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before you did that, before we took that out, we went down and the license and permit, 7,000.
Correct. But remember, I'm not looking at, I'm using 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Well, no, this we, so we went down on that roughly, and also we went down and, what was that?
We've increased a bunch of things too. We increased our accounting fees. We increased more than we decreased to start.
We cut our legal
management fees increased, legal increased.
How much was that fee?
we're talking about from last year.
This year, how much was that figure that you came up with?
This year, it's gonna be the same, which is 531,300.
Right, but there was that difference that you came up with was $1,500.
$1,500 are gonna take.
Oh, okay, I'll just fancy, okay. No, I
I missed
understand.
that
Yeah,
point.
you were talking to Richard, we,
Yeah.
thinking I asked.
Okay.
Things to get that done.
All right, what I did was, you decreased 1.8K in management, then you increased 2.3 in accounting fees, okay? Initially, you guys were gonna go up 4.2 in legal, but now it's been agreed that it's 2.2. And then we jumped down to security, it's been agreed that it would go up 4K. Janitorial services would go down 2.9K. And then whatever difference, I'm gonna remove it from general maintenance, which is gonna be very minimal, maybe like 2,000 a year. I can give you the exact figure if you want.
That would have been 3,800. We had 5,800, we took 2 off of legal, so it was 3,800. It would be 3,800 off of
So it'll be 33, well, 33.
general maintenance.
Yeah, for, what I'll do is it'll balance, it'll be 531,300.
We can take off the, we can take off the legal.
Well, that's what they just did.
We took some of it off of legal.
But why, we can't take it off the legal because legal legal is really.
No, we're leaving it at 10,000. We moved it up
Oh, okay.
from what was here.
Never mind, that's
What
good.
we had said earlier in the
12,
evening,
okay.
12,000, so we
Okay.
adjusted
All right.
back then.
Uh-huh,
So,
that's good.
all in favor of approving the budget as discussed?
Aye.
Do I have a second? I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
I,
Okay.
Okay.
Well, why don't we have adjournment before the president's comments?
I'm sorry.
We have it,
I'll be leaving.
generally do.
No, we usually have residents comment before adjournment.
Either way, I was trained differently, either way. We can do it if you want to do it first, it's fine. No problem. Legally, it's okay, either way. The reason,
Ernesto
you guys off the record.
has a question. Do we want to do, have a meeting, since this is going to be our last
This is the
meeting
last
that we run this year?
Mhm.
Do we want to do a bonus?
But and we can do a bonus for the young man that
Newsletter.
put the newsletter.
Okay.
But
Well, you
that
guys-
goes on this year.
Okay.
How much?
What we did last year?
We give 4 weeks.
What was the total last year?
We gave every 4 weeks salary.
So it's
$1,800, $1,920. We gave.
what we quoted last year. That's what we quoted last year.
Say we give them 2, because we're gonna give them a raise immediately after that, so.
2 weeks in the raise?
No, we're talking about
2 weeks bonus.
2 weeks
Generally, we're also getting, I'm just,
And a raise.
we're getting the raise already, it's budgeted, so we can do that as well. That seems generous.
you're associated next year with this year. That's 2 different things.
Henry's done a wonderful job.
Yeah. I mean, the community knows that.
Henry's done a wonderful job.
So-
Last year, we gave him a very big raise because he did the majority of the work to redo the bathrooms and paint. He did hours and hours of extra work. So that's why we gave him the bonus that we gave him last year. But I think,
Well,
how much did we give him, $2 an hour? How much does that come out to a year? I don't know.
well, I think
4,160 a year.
Okay, let's give him 3 weeks' salary and his raise. That's more than generous. Hmm?
We have a motion, I'll second, to go 3 weeks salary
Can I work here?
for
Can I be Henry's job?
well,
$8 an hour.
Daily salary second, the second?
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And, the young man,
Austin?
did we do something last year with him?
No,
we didn't have it.
What do this year? No. Give him $150 for Christmas? Huh?
Make the motion.
I make a motion, we give him $150 for Christmas. Have a second?
I'm second.
Huh?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
How much was it?
$150.
Okay, no problem. So, I was gonna ask, on the next receipt, how you want him to?
No, we're just
They
gonna.
need to cut
That'll
the
just
check.
go,
Need to cut the check.
We're gonna give him Christmas.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, you,
I'll give you my email address.
Say again?
I'll give you my email address.
No
problem.
Just email.
okay, you cut the check and then,
Yeah.
yeah, he can, Affinity will cut the
Yeah,
check
perfect.
and place bonus.
Okay,
That's gonna be separate.
thank you, Warren.
any other comments from the board? No. Except that the Giants are kicking off right now, somebody wants to go.
Are we gonna have another, it's not in the budget?
Homeowners,
Since we're not having another.
Did you guys agree on the Christmas decorations for this year?
Who's gonna do them?
Henry, you just gave him 3 weeks.
Well, but you know that, this is not a joke, this is like serious. When you have Christmas decorations put up, I don't know if Henry has the talent to do that, he might.
First of all, in every office job cut out, you gotta paint that
Yeah,
entrance.
he's been working.
The road, he's gonna be painting all of that entrance. Because I'm going to get some paint. That paint is roughly, tomorrow I'm going to pay roughly about $500 traffic paint. The idea is good. We can get the light, somebody needs to put it on because he have his job cut out for him between now
And we need a woman.
before
You're telling me
Christmas.
that the maintenance man for this community can't put Christmas lights on?
No, I did not say that. I said he have his job cut out for him right now. He have to paint that stuff. Because we let him do the Christmas light and we don't get everything painted. It don't make me no difference. You know,
Well, somebody's telling him what to do, so the person who tells him what to do has to decide, should we put lights up or not? Is that you? Are you the person who decides whether we put Christmas lights up?
Can we call the guy over from the other community that lives on the corner over there, as you want out, that has all the phenomenal Christmas lights, and have him do it?
I don't know.
Well, you have to say they are professional, but there's actual companies that do it.
there's one that just keeps emailing me every month,
Yeah.
they lighting something. or
He
other.
can put
Yeah,
up
yeah,
lights.
it's better to get them actually in October, and they give you a much better price.
He can't put up lights. He can't put up lights. Again, I'm not saying he can't put up lights. He can put up lights, but then we have to understand also, he's not gonna get everything painted because of limited time. And plus, in addition to that, remember he does the picking up, he does the any other thing that pops up. So, I don't see an issue with it, but
It's done.
the only thing that I see is that something that can get done. That's why.
Christmas
Can I
here.
make a suggestion? I'm willing to volunteer sometime. You're the one with the website, you're the one that,
Mhm.
you have a lot of emails?
Yeah.
All right. Put out a mail and see how many people are willing to volunteer. Pick a Saturday, this Saturday, whatever. If you get enough people, then it merits buying the stuff and I'll get
We
involved.
buy the lights and we put them out there. If they want to paint, we put them out there.
I can get a few neighbors to come out.
I have $500.
I'll volunteer.
Before you guys take off.
Paul's not allowed to fly the flying ladders.
We have comments from the.
Yeah.
You guys have volunteered your time already, so I was
You,
I don't mind helping with something like that, if there's people, you know. The issue we have is if everybody's, let's do it, and then we're the ones out there doing that, then it's a problem. You get some people out there, I'll come out there with you, we'll
Okay.
have a party.
Any other comments?
So you'll send something out on that. Did you have any comments, questions?
I'm sorry, no, you had a quick
Plus $100,000, you don't know.
No, I was gonna ask about,
This is
so,
your ticket on your box.
I had a check.
we didn't mention anything about the election coming up. You know, anything about the
On the
election?
19th.
Yeah, the notices will go out tomorrow if they didn't go out today, and it's scheduled. Check my calendar. I think it was the 19th. Yes, the 19th.
Did we have any volunteers?
Do we know if anybody's running?
You went-
On that notice, it'll give the candidates the option, and then
I'm
they'll,
sure.
at the moment, there isn't any candidates, we don't have to send the notices. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in that package, it'll include, if you want to be a candidate, just to fill that out and come to the meeting.
I didn't.
I already have a lot of.
Oh, no, I gotta know, I mean, helping out with a little bit, I mean, what kind of
We need to get some names of it, right?
Okay.
And then they'll be shooting person.
That's
If
it.
there's none,
I'll
if
send you guys
there's
the
none,
list tomorrow so you can approve it.
if there's none, then you just leave it open, and then that day they can come in and run.
Do we have a volunteer, so?
Yeah, if he wants to.
Name is, and can we put his
Get his
name in?
information right.
Oh, no, I'm just asking about it.
You, okay, great, I'll get your permission for
Let's
it.
get in and we'll do rock, paper, scissors. Do you have any comments?
Well, I have a comment, so it's like a complaint. I sent a check to the company and I haven't received a notice that they've received it or not.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, we're having some delays because of the bank. But we just deposited a large batch of checks yesterday. Well, actually, this morning, we hand deposited them. We thought it was going to be able to work another way. You're not the only owner. A lot of owners have been having that complaint. Hopefully, that's it. After this has been approved, we're going to mail coupon books out, and the checks are going to be processed immediately because you're mailing it straight to the bank. It's just been unfortunate as a transition, and the differences of the way their system works compared to what we're accustomed to. But hopefully, that check should clear. If it's not a batch that Richard just gave me, should clear immediately.
And we've already agreed, the board's already agreed, I think we said October, November, we'll extend it through December. There's not any late fees or anything. It's a confusion with with the loss of the management company, the change. It's not any homeowner's fault. We're not gonna hurt anybody.
We're not gonna,
That made me feel good.
Trust me, we've been getting a ton of calls. We wish it would have gone smoother, but.
As long as I'm still treasurer, I'd just like to clarify this late fee business. Now, we're not charging any late fees for the people who always have paid their things on time. And we're not charging any late fees for these 3 months. For the people that have always been late and haven't paid their fees at all for years now, we're still charging them late fees every single month.
We discussed at the last meeting, attorney, when they cases with the attorney, they're always charged late
Right,
fees.
exactly.
Always charged, so there's no problem.
Do you have any comments? Nothing?
No more comments, we're adjourned.
Before you guys take off, I need some civic signatures.
All right.